All right, we're back with another episode of the Sad Powers podcast. Today we have comedian Val Cole. Everybody, how's it going?
Good. I think my light is too bright, isn't it? Holy cow.
It's a little bright, but I don't know. It's no big deal.
Let's see. Let's do this. Better?
Yeah.
I look older now. I don't like that.
What does your shirt say? Hugs, not Uggs. I love that.
And complete with misspellings. Misspelled.
Is that not how you spell Ugg?
No, not with an apostrophe.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, yeah, that's ridiculous. Like it's not like it belongs to Uggs, you know?
That's right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna make a statement, please be grammatically correct.
Yeah. So we just met at a backyard comedy show. It was my first time back doing comedy. What about you? Was that your first show back from all the...
Since COVID, it was probably my fourth show.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you were great. You were fucking hilarious. It was awesome.
Thank you. You were great too.
Thanks.
I only know one other person who plays the ukulele.
It's such an easy instrument. It's like... I wanted to play guitar, but I was just too bad at it, so I, got the simpler version.
I saw somebody on America's Got Talent last week who was doing Jimi Hendrix on the ukulele. It was amazing.
I gotta check that out. That's sick, actually.
He was some guy from Tokyo, I think. It was amazing.
Oh, nice. Cool. How long have you been doing comedy for?
Since 2016 or 17. I think 16 or 17. It was right when my marriage was falling apart. And I thought, oh, maybe I should do something to distract myself from how terrible I feel. And and so I started to do that. I always wanted to, but just didn't have the guts. And so this was it got me around funny people, and so I laughed more, and I thought if I was happier that it would make their marriage better. And it sped up everything. It just got worse way faster. And so comedy may have killed my marriage, but saved my soul.
Aw, that's nice. I like that. Did your ex ever see you perform?
He saw me once.
And what did he think? It's like, all right, let's get divorced now.
Yeah, maybe, because I had a couple of jokes about him. One of my jokes was, we have kind of a love-hate relationship. Because it'd been 12 years, so you've fallen into a love-hate relationship, and I love what an amazing father he is. I hate that he is my husband. So that was one of my jokes that he may not have appreciated.
That's hilarious. Do you remember?
How about you?
Oh, same amount actually, 4 years around. Yeah, I always like hearing how people got into it, because it's everyone has their own stories. And do you remember your first show and where it was and everything?
Yeah, my first show was at the Hawaii Bar in Toronto.
Have
you been there?
No, I've only done one show in Toronto at Second City. It was sick.
Well, and that's Second City has a great stage, so that's a great place to perform. But before I performed on the Second City stage, I performed at Hawaii Bar. It was an open mic, and this place I came to fall in love with. But at the time, I thought it was the worst place ever. It was steamy. It was packed. It smelled weird, and a million comics were doing their time. It was a marathon open mic, but that's because everybody went to that one. They loved it. So anybody who's anybody would go to that open mic, but it was terrifying. And then within the first half of my set, you could start to relax and have fun with it. But getting up in front of the mic the very first time is terrifying. It still is terrifying, but the first time is the worst.
Yeah, for sure. Did it go well? Or did you bomb the first time?
I didn't bomb.
That's good. Yeah.
I
feel like I killed the first time, maybe just in my head, and then the 10 times after that, I just did terrible. But I'm so grateful for like at least doing okay that first time where it's like, you know?
Because you wouldn't have ever done it again.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually crazy. You've only been doing it 4 years. I expect like 10 years, to be honest. You just
Why?
seem like, I don't know, you seem like a headliner. You seem like so, like, have you headlined before?
I think, I did once, and that was the one and only time that I left my set early. I stopped in the middle of a joke and gave up and walked out.
Oh,
Was
wow.
the time that I headlined.
And wait, what happened? Why did you do that?
And that I've always said I'm a professional, and I will, I'll see it through, and don't let the audience's reaction get to you. Just do your jokes, right? Just concentrate on your jokes. And I was dating someone who picked a fight with me right before I was going on, like right before.
Wow.
And that wasn't the first thing that happened. What happened before that was, this was the second night of this group of this place. And the night before, some people were there who were going to be there the next night. And so they show up the next night already drunk. And the woman says to her adult daughter, "Oh, this woman's hilarious." And they cornered me in the bathroom. So I was up against the wall in the bathroom. And she's drunk, explaining to the other person, her adult daughter, all of my jokes.
Oh my God. I hate that.
And then the daughter leaves.
Yeah.
And the drunk woman says to me, "She's been through a lot. Whatever you do, don't pick on her." Like I do a lot of crowd work or something.
Yeah.
Not what I do. But like, whatever you do, don't say this and don't say that. And her kids were taken away from her, and don't blah, 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 blah. She gave me a list of things I couldn't say. So between that and the fight that my boyfriend had picked with me, I just didn't have the right headspace. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
And I got heckled, and I couldn't handle it.
So you're just like, fuck this, and you walked off?
Do
you remember what the heckler said? Like, well, what was so bad about it?
I think it was the adult daughter.
Okay.
The adult daughter, I think at some point, it wasn't a good set to begin with. You could tell it was off. And so at some point, and my jokes, I'm sorry, were way above them.
Yeah.
So they, at some point, she just looked at me and said, "It's not funny. You're not funny."
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I think I try to come back like, what's not funny, the joke or something else? And I forget what her answer, because I was already gone. I had already exited the building in my mind. And I did one of those classics. Okay, you guys have been great. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
And walked off. And the host
is
having to run up from the back of the room and save the day.
And then what? Did he do some more time or something?
No, I think he did. And of course, I leave immediately. I just go straight out the door. And I think he just, did the, "Well, okay, you guys, thanks so much for having us, and it's been a great night." And he didn't draw attention to it at all.
That's good.
And it was Joe, actually.
Joe Vitello?
Joe Vitello.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I walked out on one of his shows.
I'm sure he doesn't mind. If there's any show to do it on, that's the one, I'm sure he'd have you back.
Have you ever bailed on a set?
Kind of. So for me, it was like I was doing a show at like a dive bar, and then some like huge like muscular guy. I like to call them balloon animals. They look like that, And then he just comes up and he grabs the mic out of my hand and then like starts telling his own jokes that were like terrible, and I was just like in shock, right? So I just left. Like I was like, I'm not gonna like try to grab the mic back or anything. Like, this guy's huge. He's gonna crush me. So it's like, all right, I'll just go. Yeah, it was weird. He was just like, "You're
Yeah.
not funny. I could do this better." He's not a comedian. Like so he's never like actually done like real jokes. He doesn't know what it's like. I don't know. It was weird though. Yeah.
You know, these people who are funny with their friends,
Hmm.
they think they can do this. And they might do it the first time. The first time they might be, you know, on adrenaline and do okay.
Hmm.
But then they have to try and do that every single time, and they realize, oh, you can't just wing it. You
Yeah.
actually have to prepare something.
And that first show, they have like 20 friends that come too, right? So it's like they seem like I've seen that a lot of times where it's like someone's trying comedy for the first time and they think they're killing just because all their friends are there and they're like just doing like that I'm funny with my friends kind of stuff, telling stories that like
Yes.
have no punchlines, you know what I mean? And like they don't understand like the structure or anything. It's like,
And when you have to write something and then walk up in front of a room full of people and say, I think this is funny. What do you think?
mhm.
It's such a vulnerable, you feel so vulnerable, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. And it's weird that like for me like the same joke can like kill or bomb. And it's like not even one of you guys found it funny when everybody found it funny last night. Like what did I do wrong, you know?
It makes no sense.
Hmm.
And so is it because we're telling it differently? The people are just a different group of people. What is the difference?
Yeah, I don't know. It could be a bunch of stuff maybe too, right? It's like sometimes I think it's like a snowball effect or people like get in their head like, "Oh, you're not funny." And then they're just never going to laugh at any of your jokes because they didn't like the first one. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
We have to win those people over every single time.
Yeah, for sure.
Jerry Seinfeld gets on a stage and immediately everybody's on his side. They want him to do well. Um, so he has that advantage. Anybody who's known has that advantage.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
us unknowns, we have to win them over every single time.
Hmm. Yeah, it like do you know like how much time like you have total? Do you have like an hour or
If I scrape everything together that I have, I could do an hour.
That's
Would it
awesome.
all? It's not all hits though,
Hmm.
but I could do an hour. And what I like to do is thread some sort of narrative through it as well. I like them to link up in some way if possible. That's just how I prefer to do it. But but yeah, I could do an hour and have fun doing it. Would it all be great? I don't know, but it'd be fun.
Yeah. That's where like I lack. It's like I get nervous a lot and I just do my old stuff, right? I'm always afraid to like try new stuff because I'm like, oh, I don't want to bomb, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I know this stuff works, and I'll just do this. But so like I feel like I have like 20 minutes, maybe like half an hour at most.
That's a lot, though. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
but I've been doing it like 4 years, right? And I mostly just like I was doing like the same 5 minutes for like a year probably. And then everyone just kept calling me the pepper grinder guy, and I was like, all right, I need to write some new jokes.
But I think that's true for everybody. Did you do
Yeah.
the, did you do the pepper grinder joke when I saw you?
No, no, not the backyard party. That's like one of my first jokes. I barely do it now, but it is a good one. I'll bring it back one day.
Well, tell it. Can you tell it now?
Well, no, I don't know. I feel like one person audience is always the worst, right? Because it's like if you don't laugh, then I'm bombing. You know, I'm bombing hard.
Fair enough.
I
I
can
get it.
tell it to you maybe after the podcast, after we're not recording, because I want people to come to the shows. I want them to think I'm funny.
You know what? I shouldn't have even asked. That was bad of me. I apologize.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Um, so like, yeah, you do like most of like stories and shit. I do like one-liners. Have you like, do you host like your own show? Have you ever done that or?
Yeah, I had a great show in St. George of all places, which is just outside of Brantford.
Hmm.
And this was a great place. It was a coffee house. And in this old factory building, so it had the real high tall ceilings, and the guy who owned it had installed a railroad suspended in the ceiling. So
What? That's
there was a there was a train that went around the whole room. It was really cool.
that's awesome.
And I would go there after my workouts because the gym where I worked out was just down the street. And I would get a muffin and a coffee after every workout. And then one day I noticed, oh, it looks like they're having music nights here. Oh, that's kind of cool. And I saw they had a mic set up, and then I went, hey, this would be a great room for comedy. And I asked them, and they went for it. And people still talk about these shows as being some of the best rooms they've been in, because the people were so hungry for entertainment. They loved it.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Are you gonna like bring it back, you think, or?
The guy sold the place, so
Oh, damn.
I don't know if it's a coffee house anymore. I should check, because if it is, then maybe they would be into it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll figure it out. So I would host those. I love hosting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
The pressure is on, because you can do your best stuff off the top, and then it's up to everybody else to carry the show. So the pressure's off. But it allows you to try new things in between, and it's not a big hairy deal, because if it doesn't work, who cares? You're bringing up another comic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little safer to try new stuff.
Yeah, I gotta get my own show going, because I wanna try hosting. Like, I've done it once, and I want to do it because, like, yeah, like you said, I think it'll help with my confidence and like writing new stuff. And it's like a good muscle to flex to be a comedian. Like, I want to be able to do it all, right? I want to be able to headline if someone wants me to headline, and I want to be able to host if someone wants me to host, right? Do you do crowd work when you're hosting at all?
A little bit. It's not my forte, but a little bit. And I keep it, pretty nice. I don't insult people very often. Mm-hmm. So I do some, yeah. You can have fun with the people. Like Joe Botello. The first time I saw Joe Botello, I was an instant fan. If you haven't seen Joe Botello, you must. Yeah. And because he is the crowd work master. Mm-hmm. And that's mostly all he does. He's only got like 4 jokes.
Yeah. So, and he's got a poem, yeah. He's got 4 jokes and a poem.
Yeah. The poem. Yeah. But if his crowd work is working, then he'll just coast on that. And it's brilliant. When it's good, it's brilliant. And when it's failing, it's, you want to look away, because the spilling of blood is gruesome. Yeah.
When he's failing, I can't help but just laugh more. I'm like, it's because it's
Here's what I don't understand. What? I don't know if you're one of these guys, but I see guys. It's always the guys.
Yeah.
Who will be at the back of the room, and they'll make this sound.
No, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, I don't want to like damage anyone else's set or whatever. I don't know what the word is, but hinder them, right? It's like, I want my fellow comedians to do good. I want people to enjoy this show, right? Because I want to do good too. I want them to support me. If I'm making noises like that while they're on stage, they're gonna do the same shit back, right?
But some of them do it. I agree with you. I don't get it, but holy cow.
Sometimes I can't help but to whisper a little bit in the back, especially if it's a comedian that I've seen like 1,000 times and it's the same jokes I've seen 1,000 times. Me and Joe will talk a little bit of shit, but, but Yeah, but he's great. Like, sometimes, like, I think the audience isn't on his side because he's a little too edgy sometimes,
Again, if you haven't seen Joe Botello, just Google him. I'm sure you'll find something on Facebook. He's got a podcast too, but it amazes me how he is not beaten to a pulp every single show, because he says the most outrageous things that should get him into serious trouble behind a building, and it never does.
Not yet, luckily, hopefully. Now I'm worried for him. I'm like, oh, you're actually kind of right. That might happen one day.
I don't think he's ever actually gotten into a fight.
Yeah. That's funny, yeah. I was pretty close to the guy grabbing the mic out of my hand, nothing else, so.
I don't know how you handle that. When somebody comes up into your space like that in the middle of your set, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, when I was hosting, there was a guy that just, like, it wasn't me on stage, but someone else, and he just goes up and starts, like, whispering in their ear and, like, talking to them like they're at the bar. Like, he was just, like, super drunk. And I was like, oh, no, I have to do something. I'm the host, right? So I grabbed him, and I was like, all right, buddy, let's go for a cigarette. And I was like, and then he wouldn't stop talking to me for, like, 3 hours. And I was like, oh, my God.
I don't understand drunk people. I don't
Yeah.
get drunk people.
It's funny because like I've done like I don't know, have you done these shows like at like dive bars where it's like there's regulars there and then they're like all mad that there's like comedians and they're like, this is my bar, I just came here to drink in silence or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I hate those shows so much. But I feel like it's good to do them because like you almost have to put yourself in like the worst situation so that when it happens you can handle it, right?
It's true, and sports bars are the same because everybody's sitting in booths, and so this is your audience.
Yeah.
And most of the time, they're looking at the big screen because the game is on.
Yeah.
So you don't get any of their attention at all. But they're sitting behind booths. It's the worst. But you're right. It forces you to become resilient, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which is like what those like guys that are funny with their friends, they don't have that, you know? Yeah, and they give up.
Hate those guys.
Yeah, I ask this to everybody that I have on the podcast. So I gotta ask you, if you have any superpower, what would you pick?
I want to fly.
Oh, everybody says that.
Really?
Yeah. What's your reason? Why do you want to fly?
Dreams. I fly in my dreams sometimes, and it's so cool.
Oh, that is cool. I've always wanted to do that, but I just can't. Like, I've tried lucid dreaming and stuff to try to fly. Do you do that?
What is that?
It's like where you can control your own dreams.
No, sometimes I have to pee, so I'll wake myself up. Is that what you mean?
I don't know if that qualifies, but yeah, it's cool. Like I've done a lot of research into it. Like, first thing you gotta do is like realize you're dreaming and then not wake up, and then once it like,
not wake up.
Yeah, so maybe like write something. Like there's like little tricks, and if you like write something on yourself, and then you look at where you wrote it in the dream, and it's not there or something, you know, then you know you're dreaming. You don't wake up. Then that's like the first step. And I've gotten to there, and then it's like you do like a trick to like another step after that. So I would always try to like make a fireball, and if I can do that, then again, and it's like sometimes it would work and sometimes it wouldn't. But then I usually wake up like a couple seconds after. I could never like keep it going, and I just gave up.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's your superpower then?
I kind of like cheat in a way. I say shape shifting because then it's like, you know, if I wanted to fly, I could just change into a bird, and then, you know, or if I want to be super strong, change into a gorilla or something. Yeah.
And you could then, if you ever wanted to throw your own shit, you could do that too.
Yeah, I could do that as a human, you know. Oh, are you still there? I think you froze.
Good. No, I'm here.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm flashing you right now. Can you see?
Woo!
No, you don't want to see. You don't want to see. Not anymore.
What do you think about like the aliens and shit being released? The Pentagon. Have you heard about that? They said they have UFOs or whatever. They have crafts not from this world. You didn't hear about that at all? It's from the Pentagon.
These are alien ships?
I think something like that. I've only heard from other people, and like Joe Rogan talks about it on the podcast. I get all my information just like word of mouth. I don't do any research.
From Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Isn't he high all the time?
Yeah. On weed though, it's on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and DMT.
He's seeing things perfectly clearly.
Yeah.
No, if they've got ships from another, no, aliens don't exist.
They don't exist at all. You think the universe is so big?
We are the only ones here.
Why do you think that?
Because we have rocket ships that go to other places, and nobody's been there to stop us.
True. Yeah, but like the universe is like so huge that we can't even like see to the end. There could be some planet over there with other life. Maybe like just octopuses and like octopi. I don't know how you pronounce it. Like fucking weird ass looking shit like that. But you know what I mean? There's got to be something else out there, just mathematically.
There has to be something. I mean, the reality is every single planet, and all of us too, we're all made of the same basic
Ingredients.
elements.
Yeah.
The ingredients are all the same. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just how they've been mixed individually.
Mm-hmm.
So surely I suppose you're right. There might be another humanoid mix somewhere else, but not an alien, not a green-eyed.
Yeah, not the ones that we imagine, where it's like the big heads and skinny body kind of thing.
It's so freaky to think that there's no end to what's out there.
I know, I can't wrap my head around it. I was talking with somebody else about how there's no universal now, so it's like, you know, like the whole Einstein shit, like if you're going faster, it's like time's different than for someone going slower. It's like I can't wrap my head around that stuff. It's incredible. Like if you like, so if you like the way they've even tested it where it's like they have like two atomic clocks or whatever, set them for the same time, put one on an airplane that goes around the world, keep one, and then they're at different times when they bring them back together. And it's like,
How?
I know, it's like I don't understand. I'm too stupid, but I like talking about that stuff because it like blows my mind.
I mean, sometimes my flight to Vancouver takes extra long, but that's not this. I can watch 3 movies instead of 2, but that's not what you're talking about.
No. Yeah, I don't even know how to explain it or if I'm like actually doing it properly. But you did not like learn about this in school and shit about how like there's no like universal like time. It's so weird, you know? Like I can't like, so if you were like watching me while going super fast, would I be like doing everything super fast? You know? Or like I don't understand how it can work, but I feel like the more I talk about this, stupider I'm gonna sound. So we should like talk about something else.
Are you a teacher in your day job?
No, I don't do shit.
Are you leaving? Okay. Okay. Well, what kind of jobs have you had?
Oh, I've had tons of crazy different jobs. But I was like a actor, I guess, in a haunted house for like 10 years, where I would just scare people and like make weird noises and stuff. It was a really weird job. That one was intense. So I'm like, I feel like I'm one of like the few people in the world that can like bark like a dog because you're like trained. Yeah.
I actually really love dog training. So can you bark on command?
I can, but it might be really loud. I don't know if you want to like turn the volume down or something, but I can do it if you want.
Go for it.
Oh man, I haven't done it in years. I can do better if I practice, but.
And that would scare people and they would scream?
Oh yeah, like crazy. I would scare the crap out of people. They'd all chicken out.
Where was this?
Screamers in Niagara Falls. We have so many stupid haunted houses. It's like, it's such like an easy money grab. You pay $20 to walk through a dark hallway for like 5 minutes while some teenager like makes noises at you. They don't even have to pay hydro. The lights are off. Like it's crazy.
Niagara Falls is the craziest place because everybody comes to look at the water going over the cliff, and it's amazing. And then after 10 seconds, you think, okay, well now what?
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's what that haunted house is on Clifton Hill, right?
Yeah, there's tons of stuff like that. Like all the tourist stuff here is like super, I don't know, just like super expensive and not worth it in my opinion, you know?
It's so tacky.
Yeah, exactly.
It's awful.
Mm-hmm.
But
like,
there's nothing else to do once you've looked at the water for 10 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what do you do?
It's a lot of water.
Yeah.
But it's okay, that's water.
Yeah.
It's a lot of water. It's a lot, like, don't get me wrong, that's a lot of shitload of water.
Yeah. Just go to
we done
Toronto after you see all the water. Just if you want to do other stuff, just drive to Toronto. It's not that far.
Well, I shouldn't say 10 seconds. It's actually 15 seconds because for 5 seconds you look over at the American Falls and you go,
Yeah.
that's not very much water at all.
And then you gotta come back at night and see the lights and look at it for another 15 seconds at nighttime.
I got to control the lights one time on the
What? That's sick, actually.
falls. That was just a lot of fun.
What-
Green, blue. Oh, let's do yellow.
What kind of jobs have you had? Were you a teacher? Is that what you asked?
No, I was just enjoying the way you explained things so
Okay.
eloquently. Well, my very first job was at a donut shop, and I became addicted to donuts.
Mm-hmm.
And they made the mistake of saying, while you're at work, you can eat the donuts and not pay. And I said, oh, that sounds lovely. And it wasn't a very busy store. So when nobody was around, I ate donuts. And I must have gained about 20 pounds. And to this day, I salivate at the mention of donuts. I love them so much.
Just any kind? What's your favorite donut?
Gotta be fresh, because I ate them fresh, right? It's gotta be fresh. No, I like all of them. I like the apple fritters, and I like oh, here it goes. Mwah, mwah. I like the chocolate dip. Oh, I love them all. Do you know what I didn't like was the jelly donuts with the powder, because it always went up my nose. I hate those.
Yeah.
Love it. So that was my first job, and I got so fat. And then I got into radio when I was in my 20s.
Oh, that's sick, actually.
Yeah, so I was in radio for over 20 years, and I was on the morning shows in Ontario and in Vancouver. And that was, when I started on the morning show, that was in the early days of women being added to the morning shows, because women weren't funny.
Wait, they weren't on morning shows before that? That's awesome. So you're one of the first ones? That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah, not but in that first wave, yeah. So then I moved to Vancouver, did that there, and then I got into talk radio, which was cool, because you don't have a song to give you a break or go to the bathroom. You have to talk the whole time. So that was great. I used to think of myself as an ad lib actor when I did that show, because the trick was you had to kind of come up with an opinion and stick with that opinion, and that way you would generate calls, because people would want to call in and either agree with you or disagree with you. And it's better if you took the less reasonable position, because people have more confidence in calling and disagreeing with you. If you're clearly not in the majority, then people are happy to go, no, you're absolutely wrong. So I had to go on the air and spend hours talking about things that I did not care about at all, but sound like this was my opinion. God damn it! And you're an idiot for thinking anything else. So that was did that for a long time. And then I moved back to Ontario and got into TV. So I was a TV lifestyle host for a while, like Marilyn Dennis, only not paid nearly as much. So I would do cooking segments and makeup segments and fashion segments and talk to the occasional famous person. And then commercials and stuff. Like you can see right now, I think I've got a Metamucil commercial running.
Like
so
on TV?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's crazy.
I auditioned for a one of those pee pads. So that's kind of that's my genre right now, is as your body breaks down, how can we help you not embarrass yourself in public? That's what I'm doing now.
Okay, now I understand why it was like thought that you've been doing comedy for so long and you're so good because you have so much experience in like that world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I had to MC so many things, charity events and that sort of thing. So I got used to talking in front of people who weren't paying any attention to me because they were happier talking with their friends. So
Yeah.
when people start to chat in the audience, for some people it just throws them right off and they can't handle it. It gets in their head and they just they shut down. And I'm so used to that, I just ignore them. And if I'm lucky enough to have someone paying attention over here, I'll just focus over here. Or if nobody's paying attention, I'll just look above their heads and pretend that they are. I just do my jokes.
You never tell people to shut up ever?
No.
I've told people to shut up.
You know
I feel
why?
like you shouldn't, yeah.
Because here's my theory on that. If you can't get them to pay attention to you, then that's your fault. That's my theory.
Some people are just dicks though, they're just rude.
Yeah, that's the drunk people. Drunk people are assholes. Yeah. They are. I hate drunk people.
Yeah.
If you can't, I don't know how you can't still control yourself after a few drinks. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I hate the excuse I was drunk or whatever, because I feel like even when I get drunk, I don't make bad decisions,
No.
I'm just maybe I a little bit, but never I'm never a different person, I feel like the same person still.
I've never been so drunk that I don't remember exactly what I was doing or saying. I would trip a lot. That's what happens to me. I trip.
Yeah. I don't have that problem. I guess I don't wear high heels. Is that why you're tripping in the heels? Or?
No, I just trip. So people have to literally grab me by the hand and drag me along behind them.
Oh my God.
But I remember everything.
Yeah. Some people would say you're just not getting drunk enough if you remember everything.
Yes, but who wants that the next day? Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, that's scary. You're like, what if I committed a crime? What if I murdered someone and I don't remember?
I would hate that.
Yeah.
And have a headache?
Yeah, it's the worst. So, are you ever gonna get back into the radio stuff? You think is that something you want to do, or?
I miss radio a lot because the cool thing about radio is that as long as you have a few sound effects, you can be anywhere in the world because you can use the power of people's imagination.
Yeah.
It's not clunky and bulky like TV is, where you got to have the lights and the cameras and the this and the that. It's so bulky. And I love that too. I love being able to use my face to express and my body language, but there's something so intimate about radio that I really, really love. It's just you. You can't think of it as an audience. It's just you and one other person on the other side of that speaker. It's just you and them. It's just two people. That's all you're ever talking to. And it's very intimate.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have any of the recordings? Is there anywhere people could find that stuff if they wanted to listen to it?
No,
that sucks. It just disappears.
Yeah. Into the ethers. So I would try a joke and it either worked or it didn't. And you wouldn't know unless somebody talked to you about it after. And that was your only chance to do that joke. You can't do it again. So I miss, what I like about stand-up is you can keep trying it until you really refine it.
Yeah, that's what I love about it too. It's I hate, I used to battle rap, as funny as that is. And you could only do it once. And then if you mess up, it's on the internet forever. You And it was a weird, different environment. It was just a bunch of angry dudes all the time yelling at each other. Do you do anything else in the realm of comedy kind of stuff?
Other than sometimes I get the opportunity to do funny commercials. That's cool. I don't do what do you mean?
Have you done any these Zoom shows, anything like that?
Oh, I haven't. I'm so impressed that people can do them. See, that would be hard for me to not have a real person to talk to.
Yeah, I have one scheduled for September, and I'm tripping about it. It's like it seems so weird.
So how does it work?
It's just like you have everyone, a bunch of people, and I guess they like turn their mics off so that you don't get all the
So all you
feedback.
see is this?
Yeah, it's basically you're just like talking to yourself, and you sit like I don't know. You see a bunch of some people even turn their mics off. Like I've been to like one or two kind of, and it was really awkward. It's like my one friend was good with it because he like did all of his jokes based on Zoom. So he was like freezing on purpose and stuff, like and doing weird shit like that. But everyone else just did like their regular jokes that I've seen 100 times, and just with no one laughing. It's like if you want to know it,
They're dying inside.
yeah,
They're dying. They're
sure.
thinking this kills all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Did you write anything for Netflix to submit? Because they were accepting all that. I just have like all my comedian friends were like, "Can you read my script? I'm sending into Netflix. They're checking out Canadian writers."
I'm a show up and perform kind of gal. I've never been good at being the organizer of anything.
Right.
And script writing sounds like organizing to me. Like that. I'll let other people organize. When I produced that comedy show, it was so stressful for me. It was so stressful. And it always ended up being fine. But I just, it's not my comfort zone. But if you want to arrange it and I can just show up and do my thing, no. So script writing, that's not what I would want to do.
Right.
You?
No, I don't know. I'm so lazy.
Maybe I'm saying, maybe that's all bullshit what I just said. Maybe I'm just lazy.
Yeah, maybe. I use that excuse for like everything though. It's like I'm just lazy, just who I am,
Now start saying you don't like organizing. Now just say that.
Yeah. You can compare anything to organize. That sounds too much like organizing me. You want me to pick you up from work? No. You gotta organize my day around that? That's terrible. So like when you had your own show, did you have like more people offering you shows because they wanted a spot on your show?
It works that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it does. Yeah.
So
they're like, hey, come do my show, wink, wink, and then they're like, and then you just don't offer them a spot, and they get all mad. Did anything like that ever happen?
I always tried to. Very rarely did I not let someone on. It's
like if
tricky,
anyone
though,
asks for a spot, you're just like, okay.
I did my best. If I could squeeze them in, if I possibly could, I would. And we would pass the hat around, and they would go home with some money, not a lot, but some.
Yeah, that's always really nice. Like even getting paid like $5 feels like as a comedian, because like 99% of the shows I've done, I get nothing for.
And you have to drive to them most of the time,
and
and
organize your day around it. It's horrible.
You're so lazy.
I know. Well, this has been awesome. We've been talking for a bit. Do you have stuff you want to plug? You can plug everything, and then if you want to send it to me, I'll put it all in the description.
People do you know what? It just hit me. I don't have anything else on the calendar. I had a bunch of shows, four. I had 4 shows.
Yeah.
And just was so happy about those. And now there's nothing coming up. So let me plead to whoever's watching, get me on your show.
Yeah.
So that we don't slide back into our COVID ways.
That's what I'm afraid of too, because now I've done like a couple of shows. I'm like, well, now when's my next show? Like, I was doing it like twice a week before this COVID shit. Now it's like I get just a little taste, and you're not gonna give it back.
I know. We got it. We got to keep this momentum going. So
for sure.
I'll find a place to do a show. I will do the dirty work of organizing if I have to, just to get a show going.
Yes, and give me a spot on there, please.
Of course. Of course. You got it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So fun.
No problem. All right, bye.